Okay, guys, we are gonna do some Juliet. Whoop whoop. Okay. I was thinking the clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. This is a fun one. I think it's really fun because it's before everything kind of goes pear-shaped for Juliet. She's excited, and it's a good one for an audition because it gives you that sort of insight into, like, if you were auditioning for any young lover role, probably female would be my guess. This is a good one because it gives you that kind of youthful energy idea without it being too over the top hammy. And you do need reasonable control of your verse speaking technique because she kind of changes her thoughts a lot. She kind of skips from one thought to another. So you have to have control over it so you don't end up speaking too fast and going blah, 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 blah. So that's a really good technical thing that you can demonstrate using this one. So let's, as usual, go into some basic meanings and some performance, some context and some performance choices. So the clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. Self-explanatory. I always think these things are self-explanatory, but if you're new to Shakespeare, maybe it's not. It was 9 o'clock when she told the nurse to go to talk to Romeo. In half an hour, she promised to return. So she said she'd be back by 9:30. She has not come back, and it's, I don't know what o'clock. Can't remember if it tells us or not. Later than 9:30, 9:35 maybe, because it's Juliet, let's be honest. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so, she says. So that's within one line. So within one line, she's like, oh, maybe she's had a car accident. Maybe she can't find him. Maybe she's, not a car accident, but if it was modern. And then she goes, that's not so. So she's just immediately going, no, that can't be. No, she has to have met him. Everything's fine. So she's already very frantic. Note that you don't want to be putting big pauses in that kind of stuff. So if it is something that flows from one line, perchance she cannot meet him, that's not so. You don't want to be going, perchance she cannot meet him, that's not so, and doing it like a big thought change where you get to think it through. This is a really good example of Shakespeare in terms of Shakespeare acting technique. You really need to act on the line. You can't be putting in lots of pauses. It just doesn't, it breaks up the flow of it. Shakespeare is really deliberate about putting things in a line. He's not just putting it there because he wants it to add up to 5 for the iambic pentameter, those 5 little beats. He wants it to flow. He's been deliberate about that, or he would have just made a longer line and put that's not so on the next line. So you've got to make it fast and think on the line. Oh, no, I've changed my mind immediately. Oh, she is lame. So again, a reminder that whenever we have an oh, we are going like, oh, she is lame. That's kind of how I would do it, like, she is lame. And then I just heard the modern connotations of it being like, lame, that sucks. Of course, it means she is slow, like a lame horse. So, like, are her legs broken or something? She's lame. Love's heralds should be thought. So a herald is someone that kind of brings news. And so if you're bringing news of love, you should be as quick as a thought. So love's heralds should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams. So quicker than the speed of light should be news of love traveling across the world. So hurry up, you silly old nurse. Driving back shadows over lowering hills. So it's very dramatic. So off we go, heralds. I've got news of love. Shadows, stand aside. She's so dramatic. Therefore do nimble-pinioned doves draw love. Oh, sure. She's so cute. She's so little. So she's saying like, these lovely doves. That's why doves should bring the news of love, because they can just flip about and bring the news without any interruptions of like old lady legs being slow. Therefore do nimble-pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind-swift Cupid wings. Sorry, I'll say that again because I just stumbled over my own tongue. Therefore do so this is probably a good point about this monologue. It's quite wordy because Juliet is actually quite an intelligent character despite her being young. Just because she's young and a bit naive is not the same as her being stupid. She's not stupid. She's very clever. But you'll notice there's quite a lot of consonants in it that are quite tricky to get around. So therefore do nimble pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind swift Cupid wings. I should have done a warm-up before I even did this video. So if you're doing this for an audition, you really need to do a vocal warm-up to make sure you're ready to use all that. It's generally thought, and I say generally thought, it's in a book I read, or several, that consonants are the intellect and the vowels are the emotion of speech. So she's actually very thinky at this moment. She's in her head. This is a head and heart monologue, so she's definitely feeling it, but she's very, whoo, 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 my thoughts are zip, 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 zipping around, and she's speaking fast, but you need to be in control, so you need to do a vocal warm-up that includes some tongue twisters, some tongue stretches, that kind of thing, so you're in control of what you are saying, or this will not work. Anyway, she's talking about the cliches of love, doves and Cupid. Of course they need wings because it should be fast. So it's not just me, everybody thinks that. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey. Sorry, I forgot about this. They do tell us what time it is. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours. So the sun upon the highmost hill means basically the sun is at its height, which means it's the middle of the day. Clever, they always tell us stuff. And so from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours. So it's 12 o'clock now and it's been 3 hours, yet she is not come. So she hasn't come back. It's been 3 hours. She said it was going to be half an hour. To be fair, that is a long time. I don't know what she's doing. I mean, I just think she is old. That she needs to just chill out a little bit. Juliet needs to chill out. Where am I up to? Yet she has not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. So bandy is usually a reference. It's usually referring to like bandying a ball back and forth, like in sport. So like they often use it when they're talking about tennis or that kind of thing. So that's why she's saying a ball. That seems a bit random, right? It's because she's going to talk about bandying later. So if you were doing this in performance, you know, if you're the kind of person that likes props, you could be like, oh, I'm just going to pick up a tennis racket or something like that, if you feel that helps you. I'm not really big on that kind of thing, but it can be helpful to a modern audience to make it clear. You need to be really clear in your head what kind of imagery you're creating there. So had she affections and warm youthful blood, so she just thinks the nurse is really old, which I think she is. She would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love. So, what's that in my vision that I'm seeing there? Oh, nothing, it's all right. I'm just going crazy, seeing something in the corner of the camera. And his to me. Now, in this version, there is a big gap after and his to me. So, that usually means there's a big gap. That seems a bit odd to me, but always whenever you have a gap, you should go, well, why is there not a full line there? Why would you be having a big pause? So if this isn't edited, and actually, sorry, I should have checked whether this one's edited or not. It shouldn't be. So, and his to me, that usually means a pause. So why might Juliet be pausing just then? Maybe she's just trying to calm herself down. But then she goes on, so if she is gonna pause and calm herself down, she then needs to snap back into it. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes. That was the end of it. I love it. So it would be really interesting to play that. And I love the idea that when you've got that part of the text, it actually does suggest that if there is a pause there, what could I do? So maybe it gives you a little bit of an idea of the kind of interesting stage business, or, well, not stage business, but your blocking and your approach to the characterization. So that is a really great potentially comic moment where she's, this should be as swift in motion as a ball, and she's getting all carried away, and she's been talking about doves and la 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 la, and then she's like, I need to calm down, and then she flops in a chair, calms down, and then pops back up again. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, and she's all carried away again, and she does her lovely couplet, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. oh God, she comes, and she's so excited. Oh, she could be really funny. You know, it doesn't have to be, oh, I'm Juliet and I'm so serious all the time. They're not serious at the start. They're actually beautiful and light, and they say stupid shit. They say the silliest stuff. I love her line about like, she talks about, to Romeo in that balcony scene, she talks about how you could be like my little bird, except I'd probably kill you with too much cuddles, basically, which I kind of love because it's such an awkward thing to say. I could love you like a little pet, but I might accidentally strangle you. Because, you know, you're so cash about this whole thing, Juliet. Sorry, she makes me laugh. So anyway, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. It's a good one. It is not too hard. It's easy to understand the language. Like I said, you need to be pacing it. So this is definitely one to record yourself performing it and listen back or watch back and just check, am I going too fast? You need to control it. Mark in where you're going to breathe, or see if there are any moments where you can take a very, very small pause. There should not be too much pausing in this at all. It's a very energetic monologue, so this is all about the balance of drive and keeping a lid on it so it's not an out of control train. And that's it. That's it for me. Let me know if you have any questions about that one. Woohoo, fun.